What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I feel a lot better that Mamadou Falls on our team.
Yeah.
But this is the 110 Football Instant Reaction Postgame Show live on YouTube TV. Sorry, shout out for that. Live on YouTube, but live here in front of Bank California Stadium. These people are real. These are real people. These are not plants.
This isn't a Zoom background.
Welcome. You're not live on YouTube. Hi, everyone. All right.
Look at these good people behind us. They're loving it.
I love the energy. I love the fact that we were able to score in the last dying moments of the game to tie it up because these people are a lot happier than I think they would be.
Oh, yeah.
Barely.
Yeah. I mean, we have these barricades in case we need them, but I don't think we'll need them tonight. But for all of you that are listening to my voice, the people on YouTube, they know what we're doing here. For the people hearing my voice that have never done this before, this is our instant reaction. And basically what we're doing here is we're going to take you through all the moments of the game, just straight from our feelings, straight from the hip, instant reaction. So if you want to join us in the chat or like that guy walking by us, come hang out and let's do this. All right. So let's get right into this. The way we like to do this, by the way, it's the same crew that was here in pregame. Sorry. Connor, Jessica, JR.
The crew.
For all those watching, for all those keeping score at home. Okay. The way we like to do this, and we start with hashtag in our feelings. You guys all know how this works, but for you at home that maybe don't know how this works, this is your instant reaction. This is your deepest, darkest feeling, right? When you walk out the building, what you're feeling, okay? And we do this through emojis. So go ahead and hold, you guys, I'm trying to host and do this. No, hold up all the emojis.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah, hold up all of them. So we can show everyone what we have. We have a garbage can, we have the meh face, and then we have the classic Chicho Orongo celebration. Okay, now in 3, 2, 1, I want the four of us to hold up what our instant reaction feeling is in emoji form. Okay? 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Whoa.
Unanimous. I like that.
All right.
Who
wants to start with the meh? Because usually a last-minute goal makes people quite happy. You guys are not happy. Why?
Jess?
Because everything before it was like, what is this? Like, I mean, I'm sure we're going to get into it, but it was a tough one. It was a tough game, and I think that breaking down compact teams is hard, but you have to be clever, and we were the opposite of clever today. We were very average and basic in the way that we were trying to break down that block, and so we played right into Portland's hands, but we did get, a goal at the end, and a last-minute winner always gives you that little jolt of euphoria, and so it's giving meh. It's giving just halfway through, like 5 out of 10 kind of vibes,
Yeah, in a weird way, I didn't really celebrate too much when Mamadou Fall scored. At first, half of me was like, wait, was he off?
You didn't run up and down the sidelines like you normally do?
It wasn't a winner, it was an equalizer.
Yeah, it was an equalizer, especially when we were up a man for like 30 minutes. I would have hoped that it wouldn't take till the last minute of the game to convert. But look, am I feeling trash? No. I'm feeling meh.
Yeah, trash would be too strong.
I've seen this movie before. Carlos Vela getting injured early in the season, coming off. We got an injury, obviously, to Franco Escobar as well. This is not the time of the year that I wanted us to test our depth. And it looks like going into match number 3 of 34 on the season, we're going to have to test our depth just a little bit. That's why I'm feeling mad. I celebrated like crazy when Mamadou Fall scored that goal, but it was more of a sigh of relief than anything else.
Right.
But thinking about Carlos being hurt again, thinking about Franco Escobar, who was the most exciting player that we had brought in. Preseason, he was great. First match, he was great. Mm-hmm. If those guys are hurt, we're going to test our depth early and often this year.
Getting a good crowd behind us. You
I
guys
like
are
it.
Great.
There we go.
I like it.
I hope that's registering on the microphones for you guys. For you guys
great
on YouTube
out there right now.
Yeah, who wants a ball? Oh, geez.
They
going down.
I love them because they're.
We almost lost Connor there.
You okay? You gonna make
No,
it?
I'm not okay.
You're clearly not. I love them because they're raising your spirits. You guys are kind of meh for me now. I'm a little worried about that. So we've got worried about injuries, which we have to say we don't know for sure about any of these injuries, but it does look like that was the reason for some of the changes. We got a guy that's upset that we didn't do well when we were up a man, and then Jessica brings the tactics as she always does. I went meh also because I felt the pace of the game was never there. It was a classic Portland game. It was start-stop, a lot of fouls, a lot of kicking. We did
A lot of yellow cards.
We did see a double
Easy
yellow.
money on that. Easy
money on the yellow
That was
cards.
easy.
But a double yellow card in an MLS game is rare. I'm going on a referee's rant for the second match in a row. But it's very rare, but at least he got that one right. But I was just mad because I don't think I ever got into the rhythm of the game, and it felt like neither team did. Am I off base there with you guys?
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's a very Portland match, right? Like as I'm watching it, I'm going, yep, this is Portland. This is Dennis Green, right? We are who we thought, or they are who we thought they were, right? That's all I kept thinking as we're watching that game.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just
Go ahead,
didn't-
Jessica, you got
We just didn't move the ball quick enough. I think there was a lot of standing on the ball, extra touches. I don't know if we were surprised that they were playing like that, but it looked like we were like, oh, they're in a block? Yeah, guys, they're in a block, So, it wasn't great, but I still think it's difficult to break down those types of teams. So I'm willing to say, like, we just don't know how to do it yet. But, yeah, the pace of the game was just way too slow. We weren't moving the Portland players around. And like you said, Vince, like on your Twitter, we played right into their hands.
I mean, is there something about Portland? Is Portland they're not wearing green, at least in this game, but are they a kryptonite?
Right?
Use the microphone, please.
I will
sir.
say, in all fairness, we did have a solid amount of clear-cut chances. Yes, we didn't finish.
Did we?
The amount of saves Ivasic had today,
Their
he
goalkeeper
played
was very
great.
good.
I mean, a number of those all could have gone in. So, look, on another day, we could have put 2, maybe even 3 of those in, and this would be a completely different story.
But this is who Portland wants to be, though.
Well, no,
right?
back to my original question. So is Portland in fact somewhat of a kryptonite, or were we just unlucky?
I think, look, like you get Greg Popovich's Spurs, you get Mike Tomlin's Steelers. No matter when you
These are
play
sports
them,
I do not know about.
These are so basketball and American.
I thought you were talking
football.
about Tottenham.
Oh no. When you get those teams, it doesn't matter where you play them, when you play them, the style of play, their coaching, it's just good every single time out the gate. And with Portland, it's as consistent of a system with as consistent of a defensive block, like you were mentioning, game in and game out. We knew who they were going to be, and they played the exact game they wanted to. You're absolutely right.
Okay, so let's move on topics because we're all a bit meh. So let's go to stock up. Thank you for using your emojis properly.
Yeah, Rob, you got in early. Look,
I need more emojis
stock
from
up.
you guys in the chat. But I didn't prompt you. That's my fault. That's on me. All right. So let's move to stock up. Let's move to something a little bit more uplifting. Does somebody have a stock up that just they got to get it out before everyone else?
Can I just say, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, Portland's goalkeeper, Ivasic, when Steve Clark left on a free to Houston and they kind of
Jeff Attinella retired.
Yep. David Bingham joined him on a free.
No, thank
they
you.
got
Who's that?
Bomsteeg from the Galaxy. I thought, like, oh no, Portland's got a goalkeeper problem. They have like 3 keepers, all of which are not like clear starters. And I was proved wrong. I made that take earlier in the season, during the offseason. But my God, he was tough to get by.
Is that your stock up?
That's my stock up will be Ivasic.
You picked a Portland player.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not how it goes.
That's gross.
Does anybody in the crowd
just
have a
trying to-
stock up that's not a Portland player?
I'm keeping it real, guys.
No.
We got
There
Mamadou
you
back
go.
there. Who else do you guys think? Stock up. Best player for LAFC today.
Sanchez, right?
Mamadou. We got
How
two
good was
Mamadous.
Sanchez today?
Sanchez. Couple of Sanchez. Okay.
Carlos, oh wait.
Hey.
Yeah, Sanchez is mine. I think this was
Sanchez.
two really solid games in a row for the new LAFC player. A cat.
Whoa. Why is there
There's
a cat?
a real
There's
cat.
a real cat that just ran through
Oh my God.
the set. That was
Ladies and gentlemen, that's my cat Banksy. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine.
right.
But yeah, he had
Get
another.
that cat at Twitter. We love you too.
But yeah, he had another really solid showing. I think it was a difficult game in the midfield today, and he did a lot of the breaking up the play and tackling and really being aggressive, but also was getting us up the pitch. He really dropped into that center back line and started dictating play in the second half. And when we were talking about the new players coming in, I talked a lot about Kellen Acosta.
Mm-hmm.
Sanchez is blowing him out of the water right now in terms of what we thought we were going to be getting from new midfield players.
Yep.
So, yeah, Sanchez right now is just I want to see his numbers. I think the guy was just all over the place.
Yeah. It's like a second nature for him for right now.
Yeah.
What did you have for stock up?
Honestly, I was really proud of Brian Rodriguez playing the full 90. Like that pass to Mamadou Fall, he was still connected. He was still engaged. Maybe last season he takes off that play. He doesn't try to get as connected with the front line as much. And I mean, look, I love Mamadou Fall, but Brian Rodriguez, for me, I think we're going to be saying Ilya Sanchez 34 games out of 34 possibly this season. But when Brian has a play like that late in the game, I thought that was huge.
My stock up is going to be Jesus David Maria.
Okay.
I thought in a match like this, and this is where a lot of people last season did not like him. In a match where you have to push forward, you have to put numbers forward.
Yeah.
They were like, man, he's too mistake prone. But the recoveries that he had in this match, the speed to get back, and just the amount of 60 to 70 yard runs he had to make, and then not make a mistake. Run 60 yards and not make a mistake against high leverage players. Tyron Esprilla was strong on the ball, was everywhere. You had a lot. They were doing really well in their unmarking of themselves in order to counterattack. And I think Maria really had to fill in some gaps because I would say, and we'll start to go to stock down. My stock down was the rest defense, the basically offensive marking. You know how Portland's going to play. And before this game, Steve Cherundolo talked about, we know how Portland's going to play, and we know that defensive transitions are going to be huge in this game. Now, Portland only got one goal, and it was a bit fluky. But at halftime, with 35% possession, Portland had 8 shots, 3 on target. That tells me that's bad transition defending. So my stock down was the transition defending. That's something that you go back into video and you can work on. It's not something that, they ended up getting the draw in the end. It's not something that's totally going to kill you, but it's got to be something that this week they're really going to be working on.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely like going man for man on our wide fullbacks and just spinning on them and going into space. And it was scary. Their counterattacks were very scary. I don't think we were handling them very well. So, and it's shocking because we know how Portland is going to play. So I agree the transitional, defense was not up to par today at all.
Quickly, I'm not a Portland fan, but shout out Yimi Chara for 2 bicycle
you're getting a lot. You're
There's
giving
a
a lot
lot
of
of
shout out to
Portland
Portland.
love.
I'm just saying, scoring 2 bicycle kicks in 2 games, come on. You got to give him props, right?
No.
No, we don't.
No.
Okay, well, I do.
I mean, he had practice from last match, so I guess he had that going
Look,
for him.
in my shooting my shot, I said it's got to be an organized backline play. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head.
We'll say, hey, we'll slow down here. We're going to go back to what your shot was and see how it was.
So, well, you said stock down.
Oh, well, I know, but just don't give it all up. We got people here that are waiting to hear what your shot was. So if you want to go into stock down, I'm cool with that, but don't give it away.
So stock down?
Yeah, please.
All right. Stock down, Kellen Acosta. I thought his service was disappointing.
Okay. Is that where you're going specifically, or were you down on him in his entire match?
I don't know if I was down on him the entire match, but I expect much more off of the set pieces that Kellen Acosta takes. And there were 3 or 4 times where he just chunked it. Like, it didn't look good coming off his foot today. And that's the one thing we knew was the plus attribute with Kellen Acosta. Veteran leadership, but also service. And it, like Verizon and Culver City, it just wasn't there. No service.
All right.
How do we move on from there?
Hi.
Who was your guys' stock down for this game? Anybody?
What do we think?
Anyone? No?
Crickets.
You got a stock down?
Wow.
Chicho? I heard a Chicho.
Chicho?
Back there. Yeah.
Chicho stock down.
That was
misses?
mine. That was mine. Yeah.
Not wrong.
It's Chicho. Okay, go expound on that. Go
That
for
was
it.
mine. First of all, I don't know. Before Carlos Vela came out, I'm not sure if that front 3 was really working the way that we thought it was going to. There was too many guys coming to feet, and I just felt like Chicho didn't offer enough. He didn't offer his feet enough, and then when he did get the ball, he wasn't reliable on the ball at all. I'm not particularly interested in watching him take the ball from the sideline and try to dribble in and beat a man. I don't think that's what we really need him for. We need him in the center of the pitch being a focal point. And at certain parts in the game, there was just nobody there to just pass the ball to and get a wall pass off of and go and create chances. And so I just think he let us down just a little bit. I still think there's an amazing player in there, but I think we have some questions, or Steve is going to have some questions to answer around that front line, because I don't really think Vela, B-Rod, and Chicho was hitting today.
And the bigger question is, maybe down the line, are those 3 players in a front 3 compatible, right?
Yeah.
Are those 3 type of players?
When I think
able
about their
to
profiles,
coexist?
they should be, but it doesn't seem to be clicking yet.
Is Chicho still getting used to wearing the number 9? Is that
I don't know. I mean, look, to Gerardo Rios' point, before it was 1-1 in about the 90th minute, the clearest cut chance we had fell to Chicho, and he blazed it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little worrying because
Did that get
he's a
you,
streaky finisher, but is he that predatory, 1 out of 2 guy, or does he have to get 3-4 chances to
I
score?
feel like Ilya's chance was closer than his. Did that give you a flat?
Ilya's chance is really hard when the ball's rolling for that long to get your body around it. His was much easier, I would say.
Did that give you flashbacks of Colorado when he hit the post? When you're like, oh,
Not
the
as
chance is
bad.
there
I would
for
say
you.
not as bad as that, but that is worrying.
Yeah.
I think Chicho showed us he can finish with regularity from last year. I think it was just a bad game. I'm going to hope this is a one-off, especially if Carlos is hurt.
Yeah, we're going to hope both those things, and that for LAFC,
Right.
this was a bit of a one-off. Connor, you're stock down.
Giovanni Savarese. I didn't like him before.
Or Portland.
And getting to observe him on the sideline, I've never seen a coach complain that much, even when his team is winning.
You're not watching enough coaches.
No, like, he was like borderline like coked out of his mind. He was like, "Ugh," everything, like veins were popping in his neck. He was like,
That's
not even
slander.
screaming just at the ref. He was screaming at like anyone.
Did he
in
scream
his
at you?
general vicinity. He's screaming at everyone. It was so frustrating, but I'm just trying to enjoy the match. Like, calm down,
Just
bro.
trying to
Just have
enjoy it.
fun.
Some people are entertained by that.
Yeah, but it was just frustrating.
So did you cheer the loudest when he got a yellow card?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah. I was shouting, "Give him a red."
Yeah, fair.
He almost like decked the ref. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
No, I did not
when
see that.
a call didn't go his way, he was like yelling and he was like doing one of those things where he like just flares his arm and he almost just like sucker punched the linesman. It was like, whoa, that's why he really got the yellow, I think.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
I mean,
Against the rules.
those are definitely the rules. All right, okay, but let's move off. Let's move off of stock down. Now let's go to where you wanted to go.
Sorry, yes.
In pregame, if you joined us in pregame, we do a thing called Shoot Your Shot, where we kind of have a checklist of ideas of what we think the team needs to do to win this game. And we're going to find out from our panel if they were right. JR, you were so excited to do this ahead of time. So please take the honors and start.
I'll say this.
What was your shot first, and then
shooting my shot was defensive. Our defensive line staying collected and staying organized throughout the match. I was wrong. We did not. It wound up not hurting us a whole bunch.
What are you doing, Vince?
Oh
I'm giving out prizes.
It didn't hurt us a whole bunch because, like you said, if not for a Yimi Chara bicycle or half bicycle kick, we actually win this match 1-0, right? So there's chaos going on around me right now, but I love everybody.
We're giving away prizes.
We are.
You're doing
we
great.
are. But yeah, if not for a half bicycle kick by Yimi Chara, our defensive collection in the back didn't really even hurt us all that much, to be honest, but it wasn't good. So I think that's something, like you mentioned, they go to the tape, they clean it up. We'll see how it goes next time.
And let me just say, like, I think from Portland's perspective too, like this wasn't the best game for them either. I think both teams are coming out of this wanting
Is he a Portland
points.
commentator? It's all
I'm just
Portland
saying.
from this side.
Is it the ripped jeans? You went all hipster
Yeah.
on us?
No, I just think like it was an LAFC Portland game. It was frustrating all around for both teams
that
in
is
terms
an
of
LAFC Portland
in
game.
terms of
Yeah.
attack, trying to get the ball in the final third and score. Like it was frustrating to watch.
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off that because my shoot your shot was know where you're going next with the ball, be clean with your touches, and that definitely did not happen. So in some ways, yes, I was right. That should have been the way you could play, but LAFC just didn't have it. I felt like a lot of ways. I mean, this is the second game of the season, so those patterns of play, a little bit of the recognition. Also, you have to make an early sub, then you have to make another sub at halftime. The fluidity that we're used to seeing, it was there at times. But when you have to break down this Portland team, you have to get the ball off your foot. They really didn't do that. So I was right, but also wrong. It didn't happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a couple things. One, someone was shouting out our boy who didn't get his prediction wrong of Portland beating us by 2 goals in the shout out to the pregame. On top of that,
Edgar
Richard,
in pregame.
That was Edgar. Yep.
On top of that, Richard, I think it would be safe to assume Steve Troinolo didn't just pull Vela for no reason. I would assume that maybe he got a knock, maybe decided he couldn't go the 45. So I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he couldn't go the 45.
We'll find out more from the post-game presser and in the coming days, but it's tough to speculate on those type of things. I just know this. When Carlos Vela shows up to the stadium, he's here to play 90 minutes.
Right.
And when he doesn't, we're all worried.
Something's wrong.
Okay. Jessica, what was your shot? What was your shot from pregame, and were you right?
Oh,
Why are you shaking your
okay.
head?
My shot was to take advantage of the numbers in the midfield, and that did not happen at all. And in particular, I was talking about Sifu, who I just don't really think got going the way that I thought that he would. I still think that there was some space there, but we weren't able to capitalize on it because we couldn't pull them out of their shape. We couldn't pull them out. So inevitably, our center midfielders have to drop back into the center back line in order to dictate play, and it was rough. Like, it really was. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going to say, not to say you were wrong, but we did think that they were going to defend in a 4-4-2, but the way that they dropped their wingers, was their numbers in midfield? Because it seemed like they had a lot of people in midfield.
It did seem like they had a lot of people. But then at the same time, and maybe this is something Steve will show the team, is that even though they may be compact in certain areas, there's always space somewhere, and you have to find it. And I just think at a certain point, we just ran out of ideas. So that's something that they have to look at. I don't know where the space was. I didn't, but there was space somewhere. There had to have been.
No, I mean, look, when a team drops its wingers, like you said, there's space somewhere. You just got to play quicker from outside to in.
Yeah.
And like we said, this whole night, there's not an urgency and not a fluidity and
we didn't move the ball quick enough in order to create any space. It was just so easy for them to just kind of keep us at bay. It was a tough one. It was a tough one today.
And I think going back to what you were saying, Portland had 70, 75 clears in the match, playing right into their hands, going back to what you said earlier about that was who Portland was.
Right.
We
Well,
played right in
LAFC
their
had
hands.
about 30 crosses, which
Right.
not an LAFC style match.
Yeah.
Connor, what was your shot and were you right or wrong?
My shot was coming to the game with a chip on your shoulder, come in with a decent level of physicality, really show Portland that you're there. And I think we did that. I mean, coming into the match, but I think Portland counteracted it pretty well.
Yep.
These games are always physical. These games are always chippy. There were so many yellow cards. There was a red card. I think someone predicted that in the pregame as
Yeah.
well. So I think it happened, but I think it happened for both teams. So we didn't really take an advantage because of it.
All right.
It's a weird one. I don't feel upset.
This feels like a whole weird postgame. And it's not
really
just because
meh. Like, it really is exactly what we said at the beginning. It's like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either.
I think what happened was our bar got set so high from that opening win where this does scream second game of the season against the Portland Timbers. You know what I mean? I think this team is still gelling together. We're going to get better, but I think because of that high, who said it? The Crapids? The high of beating the Crapids 3-0. And then,
What was the team name again?
the Colorado Crapids.
Got it.
All right, moving on. We are wrapping up here, and we like to do one thing we call "Let Me Sleep on It." It's a thing that was something, but you're not quite sure. Maybe you got to rewatch the game. I think one thing from Gerardo in the chat might be something to think about. Should Blessing start over Sifu next game? Maybe that's
What do you
something
think?
to sleep on.
Should
Let's see what
Blessing
Jared
start over
thinks.
Sifu?
Quickly?
I think I need to get some sleep first, but I actually just came back from the press conference and I have some news.
Oh, breaking news. Let's go, Jerry.
Not necessarily breaking news, but an update in Carlos Vela. Carlos Vela is fine. He got a little injury, a little stiffness, so he's good. As for Franco Escobar as well, Chico Palacios and Kellen Costa got a little stub toe. Other than that, players are good. Just get some ice and we're good to go going forward.
You didn't answer the question.
Wait, but that was way better than the question.
Okay.
Give him some props. He just brought us breaking news.
Thank you, Jerry.
It is breaking news. We love you,
Breaking news
Jerry.
from Jerry Reynoso.
Guys, Jerry's here. You see that?
I love
And
that.
Jerry's
LA
here.
Saga.
And he has a mustache.
on Mondays at 12 noon now. Noon now, right before the 110 football show.
Thanks for finally growing a mustache. All right. Okay. So I've laid it out there what we're going to sleep on. What was your thing that you were thinking about? Does anyone?
Yeah, look, based on what Jerry said, maybe I'll get a little bit better sleep, but
Yeah, I think we all will now.
let me sleep on, is Carlos Vela truly healthy or not? We saw a small thigh issue last year become a 20-game issue?
I
for
think they
Carlos
slow
Vela?
played that one a little bit.
I do. So do I. But Carlos Vela, based on how he played against, what was that team last week again, Connor?
The Crapids.
Thank you. Based on how he played there, he showed everybody he's back. If he's hurt, if he's playing through something, we've seen that he's not quite Carlos Vela if he's hurt. So I need to get a little bit of sleep on that. We'll see how Carlos is feeling in the morning.
They go all night.
They go all night.
If you can't hear it, they're still chanting as they always do. It's Sunday night. Yeah, ain't no one going to work on Monday.
I mean,
There we go.
Don't do it. Don't do
going to
it.
work.
I'll write you a note. That is the right answer.
Right?
All right, Connor, what are you gonna as you lay your head on your little pillow tonight?
I'm going to sleep on Maxime Crépeau. He played good. He made one good save at the very, very end. His distribution was phenomenal, I think, for the small sample size that we have.
Yeah.
But again, from the past 2 games, we have only a very small sample size of what Maxime Crépeau could do. And I love the guy. I'm probably one of his biggest fans right now. He may be one of my favorite players right now. Mm-hmm. But look, we don't have a big enough sample size for me to be like, hey, he's our number one. And I've heard a lot of people being like, this is our number one for forever. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm just saying I'm interested to see what happens.
Nothing about Portland?
Not about Portland,
Okay.
I'm not a Portland hipster for all you guys in the chat. I'm not about that. Not about that. I don't like Portland too much. It rains. I was just up there. It's not
Were
fun
you just up
weather.
there looking for homes, or
No, my sister goes to college there, so I was there. It's like raining, cold.
now it comes
so
out.
depressing, man.
Okay. All right, Jessica, what are you going to be thinking about?
Yeah, I think I'm going to I want to sleep on if I feel like I was on to something in that first game when I thought Mahala, B-Rod, and Carlos Vela was the right balance up top. Not to say that I don't like Chicho Arango, I do. I just felt like the balance was off today. Mm-hmm. And watching Mahala, he almost got a stock rising from me. I think he had a sneaky, decent performance in terms of getting him behind, being a little bit more direct. And with B-Rod on one side, ball to feet, and him wanting to run in behind, I just thought there was something better there. And so maybe it either has to be Chicho or Carlos, not both. So that's what I'm going to sleep on. I still think that there's room for maybe Chicho to come off the bench, but y'all want hot takes. I'm here. I'm baking.
Well,
Also-
Gerardo's in there asking, are we missing Atuesta? I feel like that's a reference to a hot take.
Okay, also, Rob, come on, man. Did you not just hear what I said? I love Crépeau. He's my favorite. I love his aggression. But come on, I think we've seen him make
start well. I'm just saying you're not communicating it the best.
We've seen him make a total of maybe like 2-3 saves in the past 2 games.
Right.
Give it till the end of the season, and then I'll see.
Okay. I'm going to sleep on this. The ideas. So we played Colorado. We won 3-0. Carlos Vela obviously scores all those goals. We looked pretty good, and some of the ideas looked very good. I did not see the same quantity and quality of ideas in the attack. And maybe it could be to the balance, like Jessica said. Maybe it's just, like you said, Connor, it's just this is the way Portland plays, and in a lot of ways they just muck up the game, and it's hard to have those ideas. But when you cross the ball near 30 times, that's a little worrying. But I'll say this: it is the only second game of the season. I'll hedge my bets a little bit, but I'm still going to think about: is it the fact that it's only the second game of the season? Is it the fact that guys are kind of integrating the system, or was it just kind of a dull, dour night for ideas against a team that you knew what they were going to do? You knew how they were going to sit back. You knew that they were going to counter you. There's got to be a couple ideas going in that you already have, and it seemed like at first it was get on the ball and try to beat guys 1v1 when they were doubled every time. So I don't like that. So I'm gonna have to rewatch this match to really think about that. But that's it for us. We're wrapped up. Did you guys enjoy doing post game with everyone behind us? I love the energy.
I love the energy.
Thank you all for joining. Oh,
Man.
I love hearing my own voice through a speaker. For those of you on YouTube that aren't here, we have a speaker that goes out to everyone so they can hear us talk. So if you want, it is kind of loud, Campbell. Thank you, Campbell, Colossus walking around. So that's it for us. If you are on YouTube and you want to come hang out with us, we're right underneath the free play sign, next to HQ, and you can hear our voices. But here's what's coming up for the rest of the week. Monday, that means tomorrow, we'll be right back to talk more LAFC. LAFC 360 is at 1 p.m. on our YouTube. Join us in the comments. It's live, or you can watch it later, but it's much more fun when you join us live. And then later on in the day, we're going to do the MLS show. That's the Expansion Mansion. That's at 4 p.m. And Saturday, myself, JR, Jessica, and whoever else wants to have a nice brunch with us, not Connor, can join us for the watch along as we try to right the ship against Inter Miami. Does anybody have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I like Juan's comment. Last game felt like a 2019 Bob LAFC. This game felt like a 2021 Bob LAFC.
And with that bombshell, we will leave you. Thank you, everybody. That's been great. This has been 110 instant reaction post game. We will be back, like I said, on Monday for the live show. So check us out there. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe already. You guys have been great.
Already, man.
Thanks for joining us. And thank you, crowd
Thank you,
behind
guys.
us. Thank you.
Thank you, crowd.
See you tomorrow.